What's going on, guys? You clicked on this video because you can't understand how, as a high income earner, you still cannot qualify for the apartment of your dreams. You go and apply, you wait a few days, you get excited and tell all your friends about the apartment, and then boom, you get denied. Now, you're a nurse, you're a military worker, you're a government employee, IT. But you can't understand why, with all that money you make, you're not getting qualified. I'm Victoria Langford, your credit solutionist and lead debt elimination strategist over at mycreditcall.com. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you how a landlord thinks and how they see your income versus your debts. It's not always in your credit report. They basically look at three key things that we're going to highlight in today's video. So I want you to grab a pen and paper because this is going to be a very useful lesson for you all. Now, I have over 16 years of experience in the housing industry. Your girl knows what she's talking about. Now, half of the clients that I work with over at mycreditcall.com are in this boat. As a high income earner, the only reason that you're getting denied is a simple math lesson. Inflation has got us all, and I'm going to show you how landlords are looking at your profile. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Now, I have my trusty calculator here. Your average apartment, and this is for purposes of this example, we're going to say that you live alone. We're going to say that you're going to live city adjacent, maybe not right in the city, and you have a car, you have all the basic things that everybody has. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Now, let's say that you're on the market for an apartment where you're going to pay about $2,200 per month, right? My high income earners. Now, you all know with your average apartment, you have to make about 3 times the rent. It's usually 3.5, but I'm going to be nice here and we're only going to times it by 3. So you have to make $6,600 before taxes. Key thing, I said before taxes. Now, we all know that we're going to have health insurance deducted, state taxes, Social Security, all those things. So I'm automatically, as the landlord, going to deduct $1,800, and I'm being nice by taking this amount out of your taxes per month. Okay, so now I know that you're only working with about $4,800. Okay, so now as the landlord, I have to first deduct the rent that we were talking about. Okay, that $2,200 rent. So now you're down to $2,600. I then have to include the utilities. Now, if you live in Texas, if you live on the East Coast, West Coast, wherever you live, it's cold right now. I'm going to go ahead and assume just average throughout the year that you're paying about $150 per month for your electricity. I'm just being nice here because if you live in one of those states that I was talking about, Texas, or let's say here in Virginia, you're using electricity for everything. Your heating, your cooking, everything. So I'm actually going to deduct an extra $50. Okay. Now, let's say with that, you have a vehicle because you are a working person, right? You're a working professional, so you have to get to and fro. Now, I know because of that, you have a car. And I also know that because I saw your car on your credit report. So I'm going to take out the average amount of a car note here in the United States for a basic sedan. That's about $670. And I'm being gracious here. Remember, I see these numbers all the time. Now you have $1,730 to play around with, okay? Now, after that, I also know that you have to insure that car. Now, as your credit solutionist, I know you're paying $670 for that Honda Accord because your credit is not that great and that interest rate is rather high. Now, because car insurance is also predicated on your credit report and your credit score, I know that you're paying quite a bit for car insurance as well. So I'm taking off another $250 for that alone. I also know that whether you work from home or you come home and chill after a long day, you also have an internet bill. So I'm going to take about $165 off of that as well. I know that you also have a cell phone and you're probably paying about, I'm going to say about $160 per month for that cell phone bill. Now, I also know that if you are home, whether you're a homebody or you go out with your friends, you're going to be using a lot of money for entertainment, whether it's your Netflix, that Hulu account. You're going to be probably on a dating app or two. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff. And a lot of you gamers, that's a hidden expense that a lot of y'all don't pay attention to. I also know that you're going to be paying for Uber Eats. You're also going to be eating out with your friends. You're going to be grabbing fast food. So I'm automatically going to skim off $400 for your entertainment costs every single month. Now, if you are like my average client over at mycreditcall.com, you have debt, which means that the remainder of your money here is going to go towards those debts. Now, I know you're thinking, Credit Solutionist, I only have about 5 credit cards that have $25 that's due every single month. Okay, that's fine. I'm talking about my average client who has about 3 or 4 credit cards on their credit report that are at least $250 to $350 per month. So I'm going to go ahead and take off one of those. And then I'm going to go ahead and be gracious and say, you have maybe one that has $200 a month on it. And then I'm going to say that we're going to take off one that probably has, let's just say that $25. Well, my friends, that leaves you with about $180 every single month that you have to play with after all of the expenses. Now, there's a reason that your landlord looks at these things, because when you're looking at someone's finances, you have to look all across the board. There's a reason they ask for your pay stubs, because they want to know that that gross income you said was accurate. They can also see your taxes on there, the taxes that are taken out, right? So they're already deducting that from the monthly rent. They look at your bank statements. They want your bank statements so they can see your spending habits. They also want to know that there's regular money going into those checking or savings accounts, whatever accounts you provide them with. Number 3, they're looking at your credit report. They're looking at your credit report to cross-reference everything, because just because you have amounts and bills and things you're paying for coming out of those checking accounts, those bank statements that they're looking at, they also know that there are other hidden costs that you have that they're not able to see. So that is why they need your bank statements, your credit reports, and your pay stubs, because they're cross-referencing. You see how I just broke that down on our calculator example in less than 5 minutes and said yay or nay? If you were that high income earner making $6,600 per month with $180 left at the end of the month, I would not qualify you. Okay, you are too risky, because all it takes is a flat tire for you to basically use that $180 that you had left in our calculation example. And then I may very well not get my rent from you for that month. So I hope that this makes sense, you guys. And if you have any questions, or if you want to talk to me and work out your math problem over at mycreditcall.com, please be sure to go and check me out. Okay, it's www.mycreditcall.com, and we will take a look at your financial situation so we can get you that apartment of your dreams. I am your credit solutionist, and it has been a pleasure serving you today. I look forward to talking to y'all in the next one. Credit Solutionist out.